All right, let's dive right into chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita. This chapter tackles a huge question, one we all probably think about. Should we step back from the world to find wisdom, or should we jump right into the mess of it all through action? It's a classic dilemma, and let me tell you, the answer is probably not what you're expecting. So, to set the scene, the whole chapter kicks off with this exact question. You have this warrior, Arjuna, standing on a battlefield completely torn. He turns to his guide, Krishna, and basically asks, "Hey, what's the right way to do this whole life thing? You tell me knowledge is so important, so why are you pushing me to fight this horrible bloody war?" And you can really feel Arjuna's struggle here, can't you? He's been told that wisdom is way better than just doing stuff. So logically, he's thinking, okay, the best path must be to renounce everything, become a philosopher, and just think. But then you have Krishna, the very source of all this wisdom, telling him to get in there and fight. It feels like a total contradiction. And this quote just says it all. He's not trying to be difficult. The guy is genuinely lost. He just lays it all out on the table. My mind is completely confused. Please, just tell me straight. What is the absolute best path for me? It's such a raw and honest plea for clarity. The source material points out that this isn't just Arjuna's problem. This is a classic human tug of war, isn't it? Do we check out from all the world's problems to find our own inner peace? Or do we roll up our sleeves, dive in, and try to make a difference, even when it's messy and complicated? So this is where Krishna starts to unravel the whole thing. And he does it with a really surprising revelation. He basically tells Arjuna that he's asking the wrong question, because choosing inaction, well, that's not actually an option. And get this, the whole idea is that we are fundamentally wired for action. Krishna explains that the very forces of nature compel every single living thing to act, all the time. I mean, even breathing is an action, right? So the real choice isn't whether you're going to act, but how you're going to act. Which brings us to this crucial distinction. There are really only two ways to go about it. On one hand, you can act with attachment. This is when you're doing things for your own personal gain, driven by desire. That path, Krishna says, creates bondage. It ties you up in the ropes of karma. Or you can act without attachment, doing things simply as a duty, driven by a higher purpose. And that's the path to freedom. This second path, this is what's called karma yoga. It's the art of selfless action. It's all about doing what you're meant to do, doing it perfectly, with all your skill, but then completely letting go of the results. It doesn't matter if you succeed or fail. You do the work for the sake of the work itself. This is Krishna's big answer to Arjuna's problem. And then Krishna just blows the whole idea up, taking it from this personal level to a cosmic one. He explains that selfless action isn't just about our own liberation. It's actually the very engine that keeps the entire universe ticking. The key idea here is yajña, which means sacrifice or offering. The idea is that every single thing we do, our jobs, our chores, our duties, should be seen as a sacred offering. Think of it like this. You can do your job just to get a paycheck, or you can see that same job as your unique contribution to the world. The action might be the same, but the intention, that changes everything. And this slide just lays out that cosmic system perfectly. It's all one big, beautiful, interconnected cycle. When we perform our duties selflessly, it fuels this universal sacrifice. That, in turn, keeps the cosmic forces happy, and they provide things like rain. The rain produces food, and the food sustains all of us. So our small, seemingly insignificant, selfless actions, they are literally what keeps the world turning and everyone alive. And the Gita does not mince words about what happens if we break this cycle. This quote is so powerful. It says that if you enjoy all the gifts of nature, the food, the air, the water, but you don't give back through your own selfless duty, you are, quite literally, a thief. It's a pretty stark reminder of our responsibility, isn't it? Okay, so now the conversation shifts a little bit to the social side of all this. Krishna points out that this path of selfless action isn't just for warriors on a battlefield. It is absolutely critical for anyone who is in a position of leadership or influence. He brings up the example of great kings from the past, like King Janaka. This guy achieved spiritual perfection not by ditching his kingdom and running off to a cave, but by ruling with absolute skill and zero personal attachment. He did his duty because he knew it was his job to set the standard for everyone else. And here's the crucial takeaway. Leaders have a massive responsibility. Because, as the Gita says right here, whatever a great person does, that's what everyone else is going to do. The standards they set with their actions become the blueprint for the rest of society. And this isn't just some ancient concept, you know? The source commentary connects this directly to our world today. It points to the incredible influence of our modern-day leaders, movie stars, musicians, athletes. Their actions, whether for good or for bad, set the standard for millions of people who look up to them. But let's be real. Even if we get all this intellectually, why is it so incredibly hard to actually act selflessly? Well, Krishna is about to reveal that the biggest obstacle isn't some external force. The real war, the real battle, is against a powerful enemy living right inside of us. And Arjuna once again just asks the perfect question. It's so relatable. He asks, what is this powerful thing that pushes us to do the wrong thing, even when we know it's wrong? It feels like we're being forced to do it against our will. What is that force? Krishna's answer is blunt and direct. The great enemy is kama. Now, this is often translated as lust, but it's so much more than just physical desire. It's this deep, gnawing, selfish craving for our own personal enjoyment. The text calls it an insatiable, all-devouring fire. And when that fire doesn't get what it wants, it flares up and transforms into anger. And this enemy is sneaky. Krishna uses 3 brilliant metaphors to show how it works. Sometimes it obscures our real consciousness just like smoke covers a fire. You can still tell the fire's there, but it's hazy. Other times it's like dust on a mirror. It requires a bit of cleaning, but you can wipe it away. And in its most powerful form, it's like the womb covering an embryo, completely hiding our true nature from view. So, how in the world do we fight back against something like that? Well, Krishna gives us a battle plan, and it's based on this hierarchy of control. At the bottom, you have the senses. They're powerful, but the mind is stronger. Above the mind is our intelligence, our ability to tell right from wrong. And at the very top, superior to everything else, is the self, our true consciousness, the Atma. The strategy is simple. Use the higher to control the lower. And all of this builds to Krishna's final, ultimate command. It's the climax of the entire chapter. He tells Arjuna, use your higher intelligence to steady your mind. Surrender every action as an offering to me. Get rid of any selfish motivation, and then do your duty. Fight. And with that, the wisdom of this ancient chapter comes full circle, right back to us. It forces us to look at our own lives, to identify our own duties, our own battlefields, and our own inner enemies. So at the end of the day, the question isn't just for some warrior on a battlefield thousands of years ago. It's for you. What is the battle that you must fight?